This time we will now hear from Amy Cerato. Amy?
Hi, thanks for asking me to speak. My name is Dr. Amy Cerato. I'm a professor of geotechnical engineering at the University of Oklahoma. I own my own consulting business, and I am one of 2 certified professional trainers for the Oklahoma Department of Transportation, teaching soil mechanics technicians how to correctly test soil for engineering design. And I'm here to talk about policy and procedures. Some of you probably know who I am because I was up here last session a lot asking you to help us with protections against the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority, and unfortunately we were unsuccessful. But I hope that after my presentation today, you'll see just how necessary legislation is to curb the OTA's power and to put transportation decisions back in the people of Oklahoma's hands. I have 2 videos. Will you help me play them when I get to those? Okay, great, thank you. Okay, many communities around the state have been in the same situation that the citizens of Cleveland County are in right now because of bad Oklahoma Turnpike Authority policies and procedures. If you look back over the history of the OTA and study the policies and practices they used to build their 11 existing turnpikes, there are certain destructive patterns that emerge. The newspaper clippings detailing the citizen and local municipality outrage are always the same. The reporting on lack of transparency and rushing to build before studies are even started are always the same. The reporting of flooding and poor construction practices and almost immediate maintenance needs after the turnpikes are open are always the same. So while these particular routes in Cleveland County have no sound engineering justifications and make no engineering or economic sense, you need to understand that none of the turnpikes after the Turner made sense either. The turnpikes destroy generational wealth and bankrupt the cities by bootstrapping them with sprawling infrastructure that they don't have the money to maintain, and the requirement of additional services while wiping out ad valorem taxes, which I'll talk about. The high-speed limited access turnpikes bypass local businesses and make next-door living miserable. The OTA supports slash-and-burn development and a quick buck for the contractors and developers, but their turnpike's ability to support viable long-term business is dreadful. Just look at the Kilpatrick. The empty lots, miles of weed-infested concrete parking lots and buildings, 25 years after it was built, unnecessarily. So specific to these Cleveland County routes, you've all heard me say many times that these routes make no environmental or ecological sense. They're geologically destructive, and they destroy 5 times more families than any turnpike in the state's history. But I want to frame that from an economics perspective today, and later in this presentation, I'll talk more about economic development versus wealth creation. If the OTA further destroys the watershed from stormwater runoff and developing the Garber-Wellington aquifer beyond its capacity, then Norman, Del City, and Midwest City must buy water elsewhere, which costs the citizens money. If you bring the concrete jungle to the wetlands and wildlife management areas and destroy the unique character of East Norman, which is a rural tourist destination, one of the biggest in the metro, no one will want to come there, meaning that Norman will lose tourism dollars. If you pave over the only barite rose rock vein in the world, Oklahoma squanders one of our most unique and lucrative tourist draws to the area, our state rock. And if the OTA displaces over 2,000 residents, the city of Norman will lose over $1 million per year in ad valorem taxes, possibly in perpetuity, because there aren't enough unique properties to relocate those people that are displaced from the turnpike. Those that are left will have depreciated properties because who wants to live next to a turnpike? And Cleveland County will lose over 4,000 acres of farm and ranch land to the tunes of tens of millions of dollars in productivity a year. So we're trading millions of dollars in annual farm income for billions in long-term debt financed by foreign entities. What are we doing?